Reminds me of this girl called Sharon in here. Reminds me of this girl called Sharon in here. She always used to get a Minge out anytime she could. Like, she didn't care. She was in public. She just was like, oh, look at this. Eh!
Was it nice?
No.
Judging from the noise you just made, it made me think,
well, that was her.
That
was her, like, you know, rubbing her clit, going, look at this. And
was
she put it away again.
Mental, or is she just an exhibitionist?
I just think she wasn't loved enough.
Did you ever give her any?
No.
Was this when you were like 10, or I don't know?
No. You don't. What's it? You don't. Even though she wasn't crazy, she was just a bit weird. But the whole saying, you don't stick your dick in crazy. You don't stick your dick in weird.
Right. Well, you don't stick your dick in weird, but if she's doing that, maybe you can let weird touch your dick with her hand.
There's better ways to go about it, you know?
I guess.
You know? Hey, do you fancy getting a drink later? Instead of going, hey!
Look at me fucking cunt!
Yeah, it's just like, what does she expect? I just like pull out my dick and go, oh, look at that.
We should get these two together sometime.
It's just weird.
Well, you know, I was quite the ladies' man when I was younger. Damn it, I wanted to say that with a straight face.
It's good to be honest.
Yeah, actually, I have a little story that I would like to tell you where the meat of it isn't exactly about the ladies, but there's little brief tangents that I'm sure you will enjoy because it highlights just how smooth I was.
I can imagine.
There's also an anti-drug message.
Which is weird coming from you.
Shh. I would cruise the hollow. I just would drive around, try to hook up with some people. If my one friend who wasn't friends with everybody else wasn't around, you know, it's like a Friday night. I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know anybody. No, we didn't all have cell phones at the time, so you just had to kind of drive around and hope for the best. So it's nighttime, hot summer night. I'm cruising around. These dudes, Ed and Mark, who I have no love for. They're chuckle fucks. That's all I can say.
Oh.
They're slightly younger crowd. So I didn't really hang out with them too much. One's the younger brother of a dude I know. Anyway, I'm at a stop sign. These dudes jump in the back seat of my car. Oh, dude, you gotta drive, man. What? Like, dude, just drive. We'll make it worth your while, man. We just got hooked up. Like, all right, I drive down like the end of the street. They had just been with their drug dealer, and apparently this nimble finger drug dealer dropped all his microdots and various other drugs, and them, being nice guys, helped pick them up for him. So, yeah, long story short, for my driving, I instantly became a wheelman, but I was like, yo, give me some fucking drugs. So they hooked me up, kicked them out after, took them, started driving around again, figuring, all right, if I don't find anybody, fuck it. I got like 6 microdots. There's hallucinogens. You crush them, you snort them up. Then I met up with these 2 dudes out in front of a house. It's like, yo, I got these dots, you know. I see you're out in front of your brothers. Is this a little party, huh? I give you these drugs, you get me in. I was like the fucking party man. I was cool because I could buy friendship.
With drugs.
With drugs. From somebody else that stole the drugs. So, it's not like a party, more of a shindig, but they get me in. It's not like I don't know them or we don't really hang out, but I wouldn't have gotten in by myself if I had just walked up. So, things are pretty cool. Cool party. Actually turned out to be one of the better summer nights from the party. We won patch in the woods, and then there was a little impromptu woods party. We were sneaking into people's pools. It was just a nice teenage ruffian kind of night. The shenanigans, they went well into the morning. I never really went home. We were at McDonald's the next day, you know, kind of hungover.
It's a good cure, isn't it, really?
Yeah, well, when you're that age, you're just like, you can do anything, right? Ended up seeing Ed and Mark in their fucking shitmobile or whatever, Mark's shitmobile. It ended up actually being a pretty big crew in the parking lot. You know, we're talking shit about how we had a good night, chilling, grubbing. Notice that Ed and Mark are at the drive-thru. They're getting more food. These two dudes come up. They pull up. They get out of their car. They pull Ed and Mark from the car at the fucking drive-thru and beat them mercilessly about the head. And that's the first time I really heard like fucking hitting noises and just fucking, don't you ever fucking steal, you motherfucker, you're lucky, your fucking brother. And they're just wailing on these guys. Like, you know, eating the food. Like, God damn, hope he doesn't tell them where those 6 microdots went. Because I had a great night. But the moral of the story, I guess, is don't steal drugs. Don't do drugs.
I just imagine you just sitting there seeing all this going on.
Well,
you're just like burying yourself in like a burger, just like, please don't look over here.
Well, no, plus one of the dudes, even though nobody was making any attempt to help those little shitlords, one dude had to be like, is anybody else? Anybody else want to help them out? Like, no, man, nobody likes them. And his brother is giving me shit. Why didn't you do anything? Because I don't like them. How hard is that to understand?
But where's your sense of camaraderie for your fellow humans?
They got what they deserved.
Did you ever see them again and be like, yo, dude, I saw your ass get kicked, or did you just never bring it up?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like I said, they were a slightly younger crowd, so they were always hanging out at the parties later. But they had no beef with it. It was just his older brother that one time.
So really, the moral of the story is, if you're an acquaintance of Phil, just don't get in a fight because he won't help.
No. Did you forget the beginning of the story where I said that I didn't like them? They jumped into my car without rhyme or reason. Well, I guess they had reason, but at the party, because I was trying to impress a chick, they were talking about fireworks and how nobody had any fireworks, and it would be cool. I made these little... If you have a wooden match and some tinfoil and a little pin, you can make this mini rocket. You hold the pin onto the wooden match, you wrap tinfoil around it, and then you pull the pin out. So it creates like a little exhaust chamber from the match head down the shaft of the match. You prop it up on a paper clip, and then you light the match, or you heat up the tinfoil on the top so the match ignites, and all that the match gets blasted out, and it's like a little missile. Right, so like I kind of had a captive audience, like showing them, yeah, this is what you do, yeah, right. Set it up, heated it up, right into the chick's face that I was all hot on, right into her goddamn face. She was fine, she didn't even have a burn, but she, you know, she's like, oh my god, it's gonna leave a mark. And so that was
Did
score
that like
one.
turn you off of her?
Well,
like,
no,
oh
I still wanted her ever so badly. It turned her off to me, apparently.
So you were in with a chance, were you?
What's
that?
that?
You were in with a chance before the great matchstick?
Well, no, but in my mind I was, up until that point. And then I couldn't delude myself anymore. Like, yeah, that's probably the end of that. Later on that night, when we were hanging out in the woods, you have to remember I was kind of faced. So... God damn it, there were people behind me. We were all running around and shit. It's not the same girl. But just don't run up behind me that fast. I kicked her in the gut. I thought somebody was going to tackle me. So I stopped running and just kind of leaned over and stuck my foot out. And she whoo, right into it.
You are so, like, paranoid.
I'm a ladies' man.
And nothing's changed. Like,
if you're running through the woods... and you think somebody or something... To be fair, she was...
Why didn't you look behind you?
I did. I was on drugs, Owen. She's a well-proportioned girl in the dark wood. Everybody was fucking around.
And why was she even chasing you?
She wasn't chasing me. We were all kind of running in the same direction. They just kind of flanked me. Oh, we were trying to get down... It doesn't matter, does it? It just doesn't matter.
Yes, it's a very odd thing to just start doing.
Because there's this little patch of woods that's just big enough to kind of hide a fire if you were in the center. There was a creek that ran through it, kind of connected these two developments. It was just the place that you would go to. And at nighttime, we were running down a hill to get to the fort that they built down there. You know, it's like, all right, these two people are in front of me. There's nobody behind me.
So, well,
run,
you
run.
knew.
Oh my God, what's behind me?
Well, no, you knew there was a group of people, and you knew you were all heading there, so it's not that...
Drugs.
Well, yeah. Fair enough.
Well, at that point, everybody was well wasted. She took it well. I mean, the kick. She didn't treat me well after it, but she took it well.
Like a champ. Did she tell on you?
Yeah.
All your friends? Oh my God, Phil just kicked me.
Damn, I don't want to tell you her nickname because it's so cruel. So cruel what we called her.
Well, you can't just set
I know.
things up like that.
Just remember
Go on.
age group at the time. We called her Chewbacca. In fact, I feel bad because there was some pity for her, but people would take me aside like... This is from Phoenix, Arizona, from just a couple months ago. I gave you an accidental backscratch. That's the title. We were strangers in the 27th row on a flight from Seattle. We didn't even exchange hellos. You seemed queasy and kept putting your head on the seat in front of you. I was high on cold medication and decided you needed a backscratch. We both realized what was happening, but it was too late. I scratched your back in an affectionate manner for at least 5 seconds, and no more than 10. I patted your back awkwardly after the conclusion, and then pretended to be asleep. If you're reading this, I'm sorry. Well, off the bat, real or somebody having a laugh?
It could be real. Some cold medicine does make you go a bit loopy.
The fact that he remembers the time speaks for a crazy man.
Yeah, I
should point
out, I don't know
5 seconds, but not more than 10.
Maybe that's the amount of time. Maybe that's just the way they roll. It is weird. There is a picture of a woman's hand that associated with this.
It's just the offending back-scratching hand.
It could be. There's not much detail. It's a very close-up shot of the hand, but that's what would you do? You're on a plane. You're possibly feeling ill. All of a sudden, you feel for 5 seconds, but no more than 10. A gentle, almost pleasant scratching on your back, followed by a pat or two. Would you say something? I mean,
I think you just let it happen, really, don't you?
I think I would feel relief for like 5 to 10 seconds. Thank you.
Want to make sure it's somebody's hand. That's for sure.
So I think if that happened to you, Skimbosh, you would be really annoyed.
I would be upset about the invasion of personal space.
Even if it felt nice?
Yeah,
and it's not like it's dangerous or it's mentally scarring you. It's just a little scratch.
It's the presumption that I'd be okay with it. It's not whether it feels good or not. It's why would you even try without asking?
See, this is why you're no fun. If you're tired, visibly tired, you look visibly stressed, just another bit of human compassion.
Okay.
It's just a bit nice.
Let me ask you this. The man sitting next to you.
All right.
Okay. I'm going to paint an image here on purpose. He's very large.
Okay.
He's very sweaty.
Okay.
His hands are covered in festering boils.
Right.
And he smells like pepperoni farts. Now, you're ill, possibly from sitting next to him in the first place. The whole flight, you didn't even say hello.
Do you know, I actually knew a guy that fit the exact description.
Put him in there.
It was disgusting.
He decides to rub your back. 5 seconds, no more than 10.
It just if I was that out of it, it still might be nice, you know.
Okay.
It's like comforting a baby.
If you say so. Phil, same scenario, except it's the ideal woman of your dreams.
Why do you think it's a nice one?
Phew, lucky me.
Wow.
Oh, these are tough questions with tough answers.
I mean, I would be wondering why such a beautiful woman would do that to me. And probably think like she wants something. Like I think she wants some.
Oh, money.
Yeah, probably she's a terrorist. I don't know.
She's distracting you. No,
Yeah.
I see.
Okay,
we have...
quickly jump up and scream terrorist, terrorist, and
This woman is obviously trying to distract me. Nobody move.
What if, Phil, Skimbosh,
Yeah.
it wasn't a stranger,
Right.
it was me sat next to you? Would that change your outlook?
It would change how much I enjoyed it. It would certainly change. I'm not saying more or less. I don't want you to know, but it would change the level of enjoyment if we're, say, the missus or a stranger that I don't attribute with random diseases.
So what you're saying is you'd be comfortable with it?
I
That's
would-
it, yes.
I would allow it to happen and let events transpire and unfold as they would in that scenario. Is that...
Just imagine you, like, nestling up on my shoulder after...
Oh, man, if I ever fell asleep and, like, thought you were a pillow, I would... Oh, shoot me.
Have you ever been in the paper?
My name printed? No. Things I have done ended up in the paper. But it was more like, if you have any information, please call.
I was in a magazine.
Immediately, I pictured a magazine called Small and Ineffective Men.
Wow.
No.
It's a tragic story, really.
I would love to hear your tragic story about how you ended.
Well, it's not funny or or great, really.
Well, I'm still going to laugh, even if I'm...
Well, I don't think you will.
Sounds like a wager.
Well, basically, when I was younger, I had these huge, like, temper tantrums. Like,
When
to
you
the,
were younger. Sorry, go ahead.
to the point where, you know, like, mother sending me off to doctors and therapists, and, you know, what's wrong with him?
Are you making fun of your mother trying to fix you?
Oh, she fucking failed.
Jesus.
All right, so, like, if something would get me, like, really upset, I would, like, get all my toys and just throw them out my room, all down the stairs. I had, like, more broken bits of toys than I had, you know, proper toys. So she capitalized on this by, because, you know, the doctor's like, well, we don't know, you know, what's wrong with him. She's like, well, I'm doing everything in my power. So she was like, you know, maybe there's a specialist or whatever that can help him. So she wanted to get publicity for me, I guess.
Well, what would that do?
I don't know. Get like a behavior, you know, like one of the top specialists, and be like, oh, what's wrong with him? You know.
I'll take your case pro bono.
So, I remember like that they come in. You know, they were all nice, and they had my sister and I, like, you know, hold this PlayStation controller and look like you're enjoying yourselves. So we did all that, and when we got the fucking magazine, it was just nothing but pure slander against me. It's just like, this child may look like he's having fun in this picture, but once he's angry, you better stay, you know, way back. This boy has terrorized his mother and sister, has caused thousands of pounds worth of damage, and his mother is at wit's end.
Pictured here, the little cocksucker.
And there I was, just, you know, in the picture, happy, playing, I think I was playing Casper on the PS1 at the time. And that's like the first, like, you know, shock into adulthood, just like, yeah, welcome, motherfucker.
Here's your red pill.
And I couldn't believe it. And the fucking worst thing is that You know how like parents take mementos of if you do good things and take snippets out of the newspapers
Right? Did you
to put them in the photo album? She did that with that
you-
article.
have a scrapbook of shame? Here's when you were in the magazine. This is when you shit yourself.
Like I honestly couldn't believe it.
Wow, that is harsh. I gotta ask you a serious question, though.
Like I was only like I don't know, like 10
Yeah.
or 9 at the time, and they're fucking making me out like the devil's child.
Serious question. Why did you think I wouldn't laugh at that? This, I wrote, ultra profound on this saying. So brace yourselves, gentlemen.
Roast.
There's an old Turkish saying, in the shelter of a single tree, 1,000 sheep will collect. Ah!
What if it's a small tree?
They will still try to collect there, Owen.
I'm more
Christ.
thinking about how hot it has to be for 1,000 sheep to gather
I think
in
we're taking
one
this too
certain spot.
literal.
Yeah, don't get on his
I'm
side.
sorry.
No, it's...
Yeah, Phil. Explain that. How are 1,000 sheep going to get there, huh? Idiot.
I mean,
You're slandering the entire Turkish people and their customs.
What are they going to do?
And their
Send me
trees.
over to ISIS. Ooh.
think about the density in this one certain spot. I mean,
Think
Jesus.
about a big tree and a bunch of small sheep.
How small? Like, small
Baby-
dot
What's the
small?
dimensions here?
They can stack as well.
Oh, okay.
Somebody's there helping them into the shade.
How are they going to stand still long enough for them to be stacked?
Tranquilizers.
Well, they're not going to be standing,
Turkish
are
tranquilizers.
they? Well, they're still not going to be standing.
I know you're an expert on how to incapacitate small furry animals, but I don't want to hear about it right now.
Wow.
I think that's rather profound, despite your cynical response.
What does that speak to you then?
It speaks to me that any well-rooted opinion could easily sway the masses if you offer just the slightest bit of comfort. How's that for a load of shit?
Yeah.
All right, fine. You can't. What if I change it? In the shelter of a single tree, 12 sheep will collect.
Doesn't seem like a lot now, does it?
Not as powerful. Not as powerful. Okay, here's a what the fuck one. I don't even know. There's an old Antillean saying, Antilean. I'm not
Yeah.
well traveled. Antillean.
Nobody knows.
They're not ant people, right? I mean, okay. You cannot fly.
Nothing but crickets.
There's an old Antillean saying, you cannot fly with wings made of butter. Can't think
What if it's frozen? Again, taking this too literally.
Yeah, I was thinking like, do they have butter in the Caribbean? Like,
Oh, is that where the
yeah,
Antillians dwell?
I think that's the Antillians, if I'm not wrong.
Are they
I could
trying
be
to
wrong, I
say,
mean-
use the right tool for the job? Is that
Oh, that's pretty good.
what they're trying to get across here?
Probably it's because it's so hot in the Caribbean that the butter will spoil. So
I like that there's 3 of us, all pretty well versed with computers, and it's not worth looking up. All right, moving on. Profound. A worn-out boat still has 3,000 nails in it. That's an old Chinese saying you can take to bed with you.
that's a lot of nails.
Yeah, I would have thought a little bit less, but I guess if you want to be sure, then 3,000's the go-to number for nails. Owen, how many nails would you use?
So are they trying to say that there's still usefulness in old things or broken things or...
Yeah, I guess by tearing them apart and using their base materials. Doesn't translate too well when Papa is lying in bed with that organ donor card. No. A lean ox is not licked by his companions. A lean ox, that's a Madagascan saying, a lean ox is not licked by his companions. I know that's hard for you to fathom, Owen, but some animals lick other animals.
Why is that hard for me to understand?
Didn't you have a thing
What?
about licking? The feel of somebody's tongue on your flesh? That wasn't you?
Well, it depends.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Doesn't it?
I guess that's weird if you're not phobic to the feeling of tongue
Well,
on your...
it depends if it's wanted contact, wanted licking, or unwanted licking.
I suppose you're aware that it's going to happen, whether you want it to or not. There's a tongue coming to your arm very slowly. You
No.
can't move.
No.
All right. I feel like I based a lot off of something that I shouldn't associate with you. Note to self. Owen does not have the tongue phobia. Phil, any tongue phobia I should know about?
I don't think so. Haven't tried it. I mean,
We'll have to work on that. This was just in there several days ago. I clicked on it because the title was My Real Life Story of Shitting in the Woods. Read, this really happened.
Right.
So I'm adjusting for spelling and grammatical errors here. Here's what happened. I took the Long Island R&R train from Penn Station out to Great Neck, Long Island, for my doctor's appointment at 1:30. No sooner I got off the train, I usually walk the 1 mile to the doctor's office, I had to crap so bad. There was wooded woods area along the highway, so I ducked in, found a big girth tree, and in the cool, moist winter air pulled down my jeans and crapped. Yes, right at the base of the tree. Had Kleenex in my pocket, so I actually covered the mound. I was almost 10 minutes late for my appointment. But nature took its course, and I just hope no deer or animal finds it. Have you ever taken a shit so big you feared for the animals?
Well, here's a question again to you, Skimbosh, as an avid wood shitter. That's all I got.
Yeah, I know, that's not fair, because there's been no recorded instance of me talking about shitting in the woods all the times.
well, I would say it's heavily implied in a few of the
He
geocache videos.
cleans his asshole when he goes out on trips, so if he does have to shit, he doesn't have to wipe.
No. I have a shit kit, which is useful for all sorts of shitting scenarios, but I don't make friggin' Craigslist posts, and I certainly don't care if animals find it.
I'm just annoyed that he put tissues over it.
Yeah, Kleenex. That's proper brand tissue, too. Waste of good money. Originally posted...
What if you're walking in the woods and a big gust of wind just whips shit-covered Kleenex into you?
Like you just covered it and you're like, whew. All right, got that on my system. Up, and you're looking at your watch going, oh, man, I'm going to be 10 minutes late to the doctor's. Right on the face.
Could happen. Would you ever shit in the ocean?
Have I, or would I?
Both.
No. And you mean like put my ass over the side and take a shit, or just be floating in the ocean?
You're floating.
Oh.
You're there, you're swimming, you're far enough away from everyone.
I've pissed in the Delaware. Hard to not say that I wouldn't take a dump in the Atlantic.
And what about you, other Phil?
Well, it would depend how many people are there and how urgent it is. Because I don't know if it's really comfortable to shit in the water.
Have you ever farted in the ocean?
Not that I can remember.
Sorry. Did you just realize, like, wow, I scheduled time for this?
Yeah.
For some reason.
Hurried, and I'm hurrying for this. My God, no.
4 years we've maintained digital communications.
Yeah. I'm gonna unfriend you after this call.
And then
It's over.
finally, we get to speak voice, and I'm asking you if you've ever laid one out in the ocean. Little transatlantic cable. You never laid one of those?
Well, having had the questionable pleasure of ejaculating in the ocean, I can
You're really
tell
sensitive to waves, aren't you? No, no.
I can tell you, it's sort of painful. Don't laugh. So I do wonder the amount of pain level that you would actually have by the water coming and tickling your colon a little bit.
Sorry. You're referring to ejaculating in the ocean was painful?
Well, I'm saying that because of ejaculating in the ocean was a little bit painful because the water's going in and it's not.
I mean, the water was going in where? Your penis?
Yeah, just a little bit, right? And that's enough to kill the mood,
I guess.
right?
Some rough waters, man.
So I wonder if you'd have the same awkward sensation of shitting, because that's a bigger hole to get water in, and it just seems like it hurt.
Yeah, like if you hiccuped and accidentally sucked in
Exactly.
seawater.
I would
Did you ever-
advise against it. Is what I'm saying.
All right, little public service announcement. The three of us agree. Maybe you shouldn't shit in the ocean, especially in the rough waters. Don't ejaculate there either. Please. Okay. Moving right along.
Yeah, threw you off there, didn't I? You're still learning new things about me.
I am.